Hi guys, it's the Walk-In 00 Dead here, king of the anime and manga unboxers. So today's video is going to be on my Attack on Titan, theory video. And in this video, I'm going to be covering, the wall, the religious cult, and the mystery sort of behind that. What's in Eren's dad's basement? What are the Titans? Where do they come from? And then I'm going to do my own personal crazy sort of theories, that I think are going to happen in the future. Also tonight, at about 9 PM, American time, at 3 AM in the morning, I'm going to be doing, over here in the UK obviously, I'm going to be doing an Attack on Titan theory live stream with Zoro Fanboy 124, Bonkai 922, Ubrakari and Starkweather. Maybe some other people will show up, and basically we're all going to discuss our own personal theories on the series. So to give you guys that aren't caught up on the manga, there are going to be some minor spoilers throughout this video here and there. So first off, I'm going to talk about the wall and the religious cult that worships the wall itself. When you reach chapter 30, there is no doubt to anybody that's caught up that the royal family, the nobles and the cult, they know what the Titans are and they know how the wall was built. The fact that the priest, knew there was a colossal Titan inside the wall, and that the Titans themselves are made of the same sort of substance, the same sort of crystal sort of compound, gives proof that humans over 100 years ago, they must have knew what the Titans were, how to use their special abilities, and how to use their weaknesses against them to actually create the wall in the city itself. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Now, the real question is why have they kept this secret from the general sort of population, and it's only been passed down generation to generation in the nobles and this religious cult? Because they've essentially let the Scouting Legion for 100 years go outside the wall and get completely massacred and slaughtered. I mean, why not just tell all of the people? So, what is in Eren's dad's basement? Now, personally, I think there are going to be two things inside this basement. The first is books and history books from before and at the time of the Titans sort of turning up. And you may ask yourself, Dad, why books? That's really random. Well, there was an interesting conversation that went on between Armin and Eren, sort of roughly at the beginning of the series, and they talk about how books on the outside world, or just books in general, are illegal and they're contraband. So things like the sea, the desert, snow, these are silly fairy tales. People actually don't think they even exist, which you can understand because they live inside a giant wall. But so the common people of the world, the common citizens inside the wall, they know nothing of the outside world. They know nothing of human history. They know nothing before the Titans ruled the world, and it's been completely sort of kept from them. So I believe that Eren's father will have something that gives the backstory and the history on what happened when the Titans sort of turned up and slightly before the Titans. So I'm going to be showing you something for what's in the second part of the basement, in my opinion. Right, so the second thing that I feel is going to be inside this basement has to be data or an experiment on Titans, maybe explaining what they are or how to actually manufacture Titans. I think Eren's father's created some sort of serum, or he's stolen a serum, which he could have actually stolen one from the nobles, from which is combined with Titan DNA or something, because we see Eren's father inject Eren with something, and Eren obviously later transforms into a Titan. And he also tells him, which I've just shown you, he says to Eren, use their memories, to use their power, or their memories will teach you how to use their power, which, he's just injected it with something. So I was thinking, maybe this could be the memories of humans that have been mutated into Titans, kind of like a Philosopher's Stone kind of thing. So that he's been injected with this serum, and it helps him mutate into a Titan, or something along those lines like that. But in my opinion, in this basement, Eren will find some sort of way to either control the Titans or to fight back and kill, the Titans, finally. And I wouldn't be shocked either if Eren's dad has a small 3 to 4 meter Titan alive, trapped down there, which he's been using as a sort of a test subject. So, what are the Titans? First off, I believe there are two types of Titans, and I think anyone that's read the series or was caught up on it knows that there are two types of Titans. I think they're the common Titans, which are the 3 meter class to 10 meter classes, and I also include the Deviant class into these common sort of senses, even though they're slightly different because they're more intelligent and they can run a lot faster. I believe these Titans are people who have been mutated into Titans and they can't turn back. And, you know, there are millions of these Titans. I mean, these are the ones that sort of like wiped out, you know, civilization. I think, you know, honestly, nobody can disagree that the Titans don't look like deformed or mutated humans. I mean, Connie himself believed that the Titan in, I think it's like chapter 36, was his mother. You know, there was a Titan sort of like squashed on top of his house, and he was like, that really looks like my mother. So I'm assuming, you know, people must be mutating into Titans. And remember, Reiner, and remember who Reiner is if you've caught up, you know, keeps trying to throw, you know, Connie off the scent or off the trail of him going, I think that Titan was my mother, and he's going, no, you're an idiot, don't be silly. But, you know, Connie's entire village, like, disappears, and there's only traces of Titans. There isn't any traces of blood or limbs or anyone getting, like, mutilated or anything like that. So, I mean, it pretty much points to that human beings are being mutated into Titans, in my opinion. So, the second kind of Titan is the hybrid Titan. Spoilers here, like Eren, like Yumiya, like Annie, like Reiner, and like Berthold, who can turn into Titans and wear like a Titan body, kind of like a Guyver in a sense. And I believe these are like living weapons. And, you know, these guys, they can turn back into humans, unlike the common Titans. And also they have, you know, like special powers such as like armoured skin, intelligence, communication, massive like size and smoke. And also these Titans do not eat humans, but the common Titans will attack and try and eat these Titans. Why is that? Maybe because there's a human inside it. And, you know, I think these Titans are definitely made completely differently to the common Titans. Maybe this is to do with like the injections and how this might like mutate people's like DNA slightly differently. So that's why they can change back and they you know, are granted like special abilities. And also it's kind of interesting to think that 3 characters, Annie, Reiner and Berthold, are all from the same village, and they're all hybrid Titans. What I personally believe the Titans are, I believe they're like biological weapons. They're basically weapons. I think there's some kind of virus or some kind of serum, like we see Eren's dad inject Eren with, you know, that mutates humans into Titans. Like I said, through like injections. Or the other way is, to like common Titans, is adding it to like the food or water supplies. Now, if you remember back when Sasha and her father had like this little flashback, they're talking about the old ways of like hunting and how the nobles want people to like plant crops. Well, maybe the crops that they farm could be like contaminated in certain sections of the city as well. So this potentially could affect, you know, like hundreds, if not thousands of people all at once. So in the past, maybe there was someone that decided to infect, you know, millions of people by infecting like food and water supplies. And also an interesting little thing is Ymir, if you remember, in Utgard, the castle, he finds an odd can of like food and he shows it to like Reiner and he's like, I can't understand what this writing is. And he's saying, is it fish? Is it like herring? What is it? So I don't know. That also gave me the hinkling suspicion that maybe there's some like really dodgy food that's like contaminated with this like virus, this sort of like serum sort of stuff to mutate people. If you completely disagree with my theory, you know, that the Titans are weapons, just take a step back and think about the characteristics of the Titans, and I'm going to list them for you. They're seemingly completely like unintelligent, you know, but it's possible to control them and they can take orders, because we've seen the hairy Titan, you know, tell them to attack, you know, like Utgard, the castle. We've seen the hairy Titan tell one of the Titans to stop them from biting someone's head off. So no, I don't want you to kill him. So they can take orders, and it's possible to control them. So if he can do it, why can't humans do it, or why couldn't they have done it in the past? You get what I mean? Secondly, they've got no objectives, no other goals apart from, you know, killing and slaughtering humans completely on instinct. As soon as they see a person, they slaughter it. You know, they don't let it go. They're just driven to kill, 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 which to me says weapon. They're also solar powered. They don't need to eat us. They throw us back up, basically. So, you know, the sun, a great source of energy, even though at night time people will be insane to try and attack the Titans anyway. On top of that, you've got regenerative abilities. They're extremely difficult to kill. You know, we've seen them get hit by cannonballs. We've seen them get hit by mortars. We've seen them get shot in the face with rifles. We've seen Sasha try to chop one of their heads off with an axe. I mean, their regenerative abilities are absolutely crazy. That to me says a weapon, a biological weapon. They can regenerate. I mean, unless you cut their nervous system in one go and kill the nervous system, you can't kill a Titan. It will constantly regenerate and regenerate and regenerate. They've only got one weak point, the back of the neck. One weakness. To me, that says a weapon. And on average, it takes 30 humans to kill one Titan. Now this depends on the size of the Titan and its intelligence, but that's what it says in the manga. It takes 30 people to take down one Titan. To me, that says a living biological weapon. You know, I'm a big time survival horror fan, and that's what I do. I just see, you know, this series is a survival horror mystery shonen series. So I've played tons of survival horror games, and to me, I see the Titans as weapons. So my theory, guys, is that like 2,000 years in the future, which Attack on Titan is set, I think there was some kind of like world war going on, or just some sort of war, and you know, Titans were used as a new like weapon of mass destruction. I think, you know, Titans were basically like manufactured in a sense for like warfare, and I think at first, you know, humans could control, you know, Titans and use them. I mean, if you think about how the wall and the city was built itself, I mean, it's built on Titans. I mean, colossal Titans are the structure, and like Titan like skin, or that crystal substance, creates the walls and the city itself. So humankind has known how to use the Titans. Look at it this way: if the Titans just turned up essentially out of nowhere and just started killing absolutely everything like they do, how would the city been built? How would the wall been built? I mean, we've seen in the series the Titans are absolutely all over the place. There's no way the humans would have been able to erect a 50-meter tall wall that's the size of Texas. It's absolutely impossible. And then you've got to ask yourself, how would the world's military have fallen? How would 95%, if not more than 95% of humanity get completely wiped out? The Titans must have been around beforehand. In my opinion, we lost control of them and they didn't stop killing, which is what we made them to do, kill and be weapons. And, you know, another interesting thing is the people that kidnapped Masaka, or whatever her name is, Eren's sister, I can't remember how you pronounce it, but they kidnap, you know, her and her mother, and they basically say that Asian people were extremely rare, and like Asia has essentially been wiped out. So you've got to ask yourself, is why was Asia wiped out? Why are Asian people extremely rare? Maybe because there was a war, you know, with Asian people or something along those lines. Also, in chapter 10, which is in like the 3rd volume, Commander Pixis and Eren have like a little bit of a conversation on top of the wall. And Commander Pixis says to Eren, you know, before the Titans, you know, ruled the land, humanity constantly like tore itself apart over differences. So we know this, like in my lifetime and every single person that's going to watch this video's lifetime, there's always a war and a conflict going on. So why would a war and a conflict not be happening in Attack on Titan? So, you know, there potentially could be a war because Pixis is talking about warfare. He also then goes on to say, what if a non-human, you know, enemy appeared, humanity would unite and stop fighting amongst itself and overcome this enemy, right? But the thing is that humanity clearly didn't unite against the Titans because humanity fell and literally the entire planet fell. Why is that? Maybe because there was a war going on and that's why people didn't unite. Think about it this way: if the Titans did just turn up and they started, you know, destroying all these cities, destroying all these countries, of course, like America and Asia and Russia and Africa and Europe, they would all unite to take down these enemies. So why didn't humanity unite? And you've got to ask yourself that question. So guys, I'm going to wrap this video up with my own crazy theories, my own sort of like gut instincts that I think are going to happen later on in the series. My first theory is, I believe I was the first person shouting this from the rooftops and nobody believed me. I've been doing it for ages, as I believe there is a second city in the series. Maybe it's not as big, maybe it's not as powerful, or, you know, well sort of like fortified or whatever, but I can't see there not being a second city somewhere, maybe like Russia or Asia or America, or there has to be something somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, I think Uber Akari in his video worked out that the city's the size of Texas, and that's all that humanity's left. I mean, to me, there has to be something else, you know, or there has to be a village inside of the 3 walls that is linked to making Titans, because Reiner and Berthold are essentially, they're spies, and Annie, Reiner and Berthold, they tried to kidnap Eren and take him somewhere else, outside of the wall. So there has to be something out there, there has to be something more, you know what I mean? Also, the hairy Titan takes the 3D gear and he says he's going to take that somewhere else. So you've got to argue, did the hairy Titan, did he go further into the city or did he go out of the city and over the wall? To me, you know, just little things, little hints and little things that people say and what happened, to me just says that there must be a second city somewhere. There just has to be. There has to be, in my opinion. You know what I mean? The next thing is, let me find the guy. There he is. There's Eren's dad. Take a look at him. Who does he look like? In my opinion, he's the hairy Titan. He looks like the hairy titan. In mystery series, they like to, you know, throw red herrings in and like throw people off. But if you're caught up with the series, right, Reiner, who is Reiner? The Armoured Titan. Now, when it's revealed he is the Armoured Titan, you see him, you're like, holy shit, that Reiner looks identical to the Armoured Titan because he is the Armoured Titan. You can see it in his face. With Eren's dad, you can see it in his facial like features, how long his face is, the shape of his face, the look of his face, his hair. He just looks like the Armoured Titan. And if you know, Reiner turned out to be the Armoured Titan, and you could see it in him, that's basically what I'm going to base it on. But I know a lot of people are going to go, but Dad, what about the 3D gear? He didn't know about the 3D gear. Now, I did say a little bit while ago in the video that when Eren's dad injected Eren, he said that his memory gets damaged and he gets memory loss, and these other memories are going to help you use your power. He's a doctor, he's a scientist. Why wouldn't he inject himself to test out, you know, this serum? You know, throughout history, doctors have injected themselves with diseases, and then they've come up with cures and they've injected themselves to see if the cure works. It's happened. Maybe it's not legal, but it has happened. So my theory makes complete logical sense. If he's injected himself with the Titan serum and he's become the hairy Titan, he may have gotten memory loss. He may have damaged his memory a little bit. He may have forgotten about the 3D gear. And you've got to remember, Eren said to everybody when his dad showed up again that his dad was acting really weird and he was acting really different. To me, that's pretty fishy, considering he's an odd guy, and if he's acting weird to Eren, you know, and he looks like the armored, you know, he looks like the hairy Titan. In my opinion, he's that Titan. You know, you can agree, you can disagree, but you know, I'm just putting it out there. He's the hairy Titan. Now, I want to ask you guys some questions, basically, that I want you to, you know, in the comment section down below, answer. Historia being like from a famous noble sort of like family. What does she know about the war, and what does she know about the Titans, and what is she going to tell the Scouting Legion in the next couple of chapters? Because personally, I don't know what she's going to tell them. Why is there no need for Reiner and Berthold to sort of like wipe out humanity anymore? Because let's be honest with you, they could have done it at any point, and they've just been living in the village as spies. My last question is why are Asian people really rare, and why does it look like that Asia was completely wiped out in this series? I mean, I think that's really odd. So guys, if you disagree with any of my theories in this video, feel free, you know, to comment down below and pick holes in my theory, or make video responses. It'd be really cool. Also, you know, make sure to drop by the Attack on Titan live stream tonight. It'd be 9 o'clock in America, 3 AM in England. You know, hopefully everyone turns up. Zoro, Uber, Bonkai, Starkweather. We'll probably have some more other guests. Feel free to answer those questions that I gave you guys. If you want to see some more Attack on Titan videos, please subscribe, because I'm going to be doing loads more. And give us the old thumbs up for Attack on Titan. Catch you next time, guys.